my lids, I'm going to go ahead and use NYX's Jumbo Eye Pencil in 604 Milk and applying that all over the lid, and then just use my fingers to smear and blend everything out like so. So after priming my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and apply this matte white eyeshadow from NYX called Kiss the Day, and just use a flat eyeshadow brush from Sephora to apply it onto my lids. And I'm also going to wing out some of the eyeshadow on the outermost part of my eye to create a soft and blended wing. Next, I'm just going to take a neutral brown matte color from MAC called Cork. It is a single shadow, and applying it with a fluffy brush. I'm going ahead and just applying that above my crease and actually concentrating on applying it as well on the outer points of my eye. So the next thing I'm going to start working on is smoking out my lid. I'm going to use the NYX matte shadow called Dance the Tides and applying that with a fluffy brush from MAC. So I'm just going to put that above my crease like so and working it out towards the corner of my eye to create that nice soft wing. For my brow bone, I'm just going to highlight using this white matte eyeshadow that we use for the base of our lid. And I actually recommend that you do this before applying any of the other darker shades, just because it gets a little messy and you kind of have to redo the blending, like what I'm doing here. I just kind of had to go back in and, you know, kind of redefine everything. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a little bit more of that white matte eyeshadow just to create a clean cut crease kind of wing line there. For the next step, we're going to start cutting the crease. I'm going to do that by using the Hot Fudge color from the Semi Sweet Chocolate palette and applying it with a angled brush. And I'm going to kind of trace first and then wing it out. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process by retracing what I just did to intensify the look and darken the color. Next, you want to softly blend but still leave that defined line because it is a cut crease look. So to intensify the look, I'm going to grab some of the matte black eyeshadow from the Semi Sweet Chocolate Bar palette called Licorice and applying that onto my shader brush from Real Techniques and blending that upwards. Remember that when working with black, you want to make sure that you're not adding a little too much because it can be really unforgiving. So yeah, just continue blending upwards to create a soft gradient. After all that blending, I felt like I lost a little bit of the transition color, so I'm going to go ahead and apply Dance the Tides by NYX using my 217 MAC brush and blending that above my crease. For my lower lash line, I'm going to be using the single eyeshadow from MAC called Cork, a matte neutral brown color, and applying it with a shading brush from Real Techniques. And then I'm also going to use the color Peanut Butter to blend everything all out and create a nice gradient. And I'm also going to kind of blend it down towards my eyes, creating a soft dark circle. For eyeliner, I decided to use my Inglot gel liner in the number 77 and applying it with the Inglot gel liner brush. For this look, you want to make sure that the eyeliner is a separate line and it is not touching any of the eyeshadow colors above. You want to make sure that you're leaving that gap and that little space in between the eyeliner, your crease color, and the eyeshadow. Like I said, you want to make sure that you have a separate look from the eyeliner and the eyeshadow. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean up around the edges to make sure that I do have that gap in between the crease color and my wing liner. Rihanna's eyes are really dark and sultry, so I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Black Eyeliner, and I'm just going to line my lower lash line and as well as tight line. We're going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, and I am super obsessed with this, like especially the wand and the applicator. Just the way it applies onto my lashes, it really gives that length and volume that my lashes really do need. So just continue to apply a generous amount of mascara on your bottom lashes. So for fuller looking lashes, much like Rihanna's, I'm going to use Ardell's Curvy Lashes in the number 415 and Ardell's Latex Free Lash Glue since I am allergic to latex. I'm going to go ahead and apply the glue, then blow to make the glue a little tacky, then slowly position the lashes onto the center of my lid, then adjusting the falsies with a pair of tweezers. So to make sure that my falsies do blend in with my natural lashes, I'm going to go ahead and press them together with my fingertips, then applying a generous coat of the Better Than Sex Mascara from Too Faced. So once that's all done, I'm just going to add the Butter Pecan color from the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, which is the shimmery white, and applying that to the inner corners of my eyes. Okay, so eyes are done. I already applied the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation from NARS. I didn't show you guys because it was a sample size from Sephora. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to purchase the product. So yeah, pin back your hair and we can start contouring and highlighting and all that jazz. So I'm going to start off with highlighting. I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Custard and applying that to the highest points of my face, which is my forehead, ridge of my nose, my chin, underneath my eyes, and a little bit onto my cheekbones. So on days where my dark circles are much more intense, I do some color correcting concealing before highlighting just to kind of block out some of those dark circles. But today I was surprisingly actually okay for someone who's running on about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So for the next step, I'm going to spray my beauty blender with Makeup Forever's Mist and Fix spray, then continuing to blend out all of the highlights. So to prep my beauty blender, I just run it under some warm water, squeeze it out to make sure that the sponge is not too soaked but more on the damp side, and then I just spray some Fix Plus or Mist and Fix spray to ensure that I have longer lasting highlights and the product stays in place longer. It also gives me a flawless and smooth application. So I'm going to do some touch-ups on my lower lash line with the color Peanut Butter from the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. Because of all the blending and highlight, I kind of lost some of that color and pigment down there from earlier. So yeah, I'm just going to do that touch-up and bringing it down a little lower to create a shadow underneath the eyes because that is what Riri had. Alright, so to set my highlight and as well as contour my face, I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which I am so in love with, and I'm just going to take the color Lyric, which was the middle kind of shade that you saw there, and applying it with a beauty blender. Guys, this palette is literally everything because it is so pigmented, and when you apply it, especially with a sponge, it's so much smoother and like you get that like truly flawless application. So to chisel down my features, I'm going to be using 2 different colors from this contour palette. Starting off with Shadow Play, which is the lighter shade, and applying that to the hollows of my cheek. Bringing that to my temples, on top of my forehead, and as well as my jawline. So next, to intensify the contour, I'm taking the darker shade called Sombre or Sombre, whatever, and applying that on the hollows of my cheeks as well. Just basically going over everything that we contoured with the first shade. The reason why I'm using 2 different shades to contour is because Rihanna had a very intense contour for this look. So to kind of transition from, you know, a very light skin tone to dark contours, I wanted to build on the intensity. So if I started from light to dark, I get more of a blend and not so, you know, much of a harsh line. Last but not least, we are going to contour the sides of my nose just to make it appear a little smaller, and I'm just gonna apply the shade called Shadow Play from the contour palette. Rihanna's blush was very matte, so I'm gonna take my Down Boy blush from the Balm, which is a matte pink blush, and apply that to the hollows of my cheeks, resting on top of the contours. I'm not applying it on the apples of my cheeks. So let's talk highlights. Rihanna's makeup was extremely matte but somewhat dewy for her highlight. So to kind of replicate that, I'm just going to go ahead and apply this L'Oreal Illuminator, Liquid Illuminator in the color 201 Rose onto my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, and as well as my chin. So more highlights, why not? I'm just going to use the Mary Luminizer from the Balm and apply that to where we applied the liquid highlight. Alright, time to let my hair loose because I looked so weird with that, and I'll shake it out, kind of fix that up. And then we're going to start working on the lips. As always, you want to start moisturizing before applying any lipstick because it is so annoying to have to talk to somebody who has chappy looking lips. Does it not make you want to lick your own lips? I don't know, kind of gross. For the lips, I'm going to take MAC's Satin lipstick called Media, and this is the darkest lipstick I actually own. I don't have black lipstick just because I don't think it's something that I would want to wear. So I'm just gonna improvise, and yeah, so I'm just gonna apply this onto my lips. Rihanna's lipstick was kind of like a velvet, red velvet / black velvet color. I don't even know, velvet. Yeah, so improvising using some eyeshadow. I'm going to take some black eyeshadow and a lip brush and just apply that over the kind of dark red / purple undertone lipstick from MAC. When I was looking closely at Rihanna's lips for this look, I felt like she was wearing two different lipsticks because underneath there was like a red kind of dark tone to it, and then on top there was like a matte black. So I don't know. This is the closest I could get. Kind of weird using eyeshadows on my lips, but whatever, it works. Last but not least, it's time to set all of that, and I'm using my Mist & Fix spray from Makeup Forever, fanning myself. And then yeah, that's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's kind of long, really hectic, lots of detail in this look, and I don't know, I kind of enjoyed doing it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!
Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money.